As you go through the playing the game, you learn the rest. Who scouted these midfielders and said they can play for the Black Stars? Similar. They only pass the ball 5 yards, 10 yards, maximum 20 yards. Rendering all our forward players completely useless and ineffective. This coaching, Masaudi Dramani, George Boateng, and Chris Hughton. Even the local Black Stars that have been given to Masaudi Dramani should be taken away from him. Because for a coach that we all respect and adore in this country,
Didi has
an academic specialist, you endorsed this Elisha Wusu, Baba Idrisu, and Salih's midfield for Black Stars against the likes of Jeffrey Schlupp, Alfred Duncan, Bernard Mensah, and Co. No, so we'll not go forward in the tournament. We just watched Senegal. Could you believe that Idrissa Gana
was
on the bench?
Yeah, he came off the bench.
He was
Idrissa
on the
Gana
bench.
Gueye.
Ghana Gay. You see what the Senegalese are doing.
Yeah. Gana Gueye, how old?
Today we sit here.
31. He's
The Ghana Football Association.
Lamine Camara,
20-year-old under 20 player. Look at, he's bossing the midfield in an AFCON. Just 2 years ago, he was bossing it at under 20. He reminded me of Ajuman Badu after 2009 in Egypt, who came straight to Angola in January. The under 20 tournament in Egypt was played somewhere in September, October.
The final was on the 16th of October.
That's right. November, December. In January, Ajuman Badu was bossing it in Angola with ease alongside Pablo Aima and Tony Anai. With ease. Today, the Senegalese are doing what we have done 10, 12 years ago. And rather, we have moved away from that. Today, we speak here. I hear the FA has appointed under 15 coaches. They are only going to scout Keto-Kreku players.
They don't exist.
They are only going to scout Keto-Kreku and the Ghana Football Association ESCO members, their team players. Because I do coach football. My team play in the Premier Division of coach football in my district. Never have I seen them come to scout any player, any game within my region. But every now and then, we see under 15 being taken to Togo, being taken to Abidjan to go and play, and they are represent. Go and look at the list of those players and the teams they belong to. They are all Keto-Kreku and the ESCO members players. You don't want to be honest with us, but you want us to flourish. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So Nathan, I'm not being a doomsayer. We are being badly coached. Let me address the Osman Bukari substitution. I listened to Chris Hughton and I disagreed with him.
Okay, why?
No more. The boy made a mistake. But if you analyze his mistake technically and tactically, you want to pull in Richard Ofori. Look, yesterday I listened to Fatah Dada and he told me that he has not only been in the goalpost, but he's now coaching alongside Kwesi Appiah in Sudan.
Yeah.
I clapped for Fatah Dada because it was going through my mind. Could Richard Ofori, could he have had given Osman Bukari an option? Go watch it. When Bukari picked the ball, he struggled to win back the ball.
Yeah.
So based on the press, he was facing our goal. Somebody said he should have kicked it out. That was one. The second option was Richard Ofori should have come out of goal to the right, give him the ball, then bim bam boom and on your try. Boom bam boom and on your try. No shimmy. No yaki. He didn't do that. And the ball, and then after we considered that goal, naturally it will get to the boy. Agreed? But Nathan, after that mistake, I felt the boy had recovered. And he had some 2-3 runs.
On 2 runs.
2 runs. Yeah. You want to credit the defender. It was a 1v. If he had gone past the defender, we're in. Now, if you are bringing him out, you are giving Joseph Pence how many minutes to impact the game? 5 minutes. Look, the coaches, they are not serious. Whilst there was Jordan on the left doing virtually nothing.
Jordan lasted the entire.
Somebody gave his statistics.
Yes,
could you pull that out? Read it to
my very good friend. Friend.
Read it out.
Jordan Ayew.
Alfred.
0 shots. Yes, Alfredo.
Alfred Appiah.
0 shot on target.
0 shots. 1 touch in the opponent's box. 1 key pass. 0 successful passes into the final third.
Can you imagine?
0 dribbles completed, and he attempted it twice. Dispossessed 6 times. Lost 12 out of 18 duels.
Why is he lasting the entire 90 minutes? He's not a natural winger. You keep playing him there. A bay washing. Can't handle the ball. A cheap pass. A cometo. No man, the great maestro Abedi Ayopele, his father, didn't play football like that. Whenever the maestro took off those days, we knew something was going to happen. You don't have the quality of your father, so play it simple to the benefit of the team. Look, we are being badly coached, and I'm worried because of that. I've already said that because the minister refused to tell the people of this country how much money is being spent in Cote d'Ivoire, I pray we get booted out of the tournament. I've said it. I'm not going to take that back. Never. Because when I look at my pay slip and I see how much money is taken from me as tax, I weep. So if you're going to spend our money, you see, we are entitled. I don't blame him. I blame the president of the land. I blame the finance minister. I blame all of them. They are taking all of us for granted. Because I know the Nigerian budget. I know the South African budget. I know Zambia's budget. Algeria, Morocco, Cote d'Ivoire. I know the only team that have not publicized its budget in the AFCON is Ghana.
Okay, you just wrap it up. Let me.
No, minister. You not go candidates be. What a minister not about. No candidates be.
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't see it.
I saw what I saw.
Viewers, when the camera fell on the minister, the moment the minister
Mustafa
Yusuf. Go and watch his lips.
I saw that he was saying something.
Who was he talking to?
He's praying, coach.
In not solely. But whilst he's praying, some of us are countering his praying. Because, yes.
Coach, you are saying back to sender.
I'm telling you, because he should not be praying. He should be doing the right thing. So that we will pray for the team. We will pray for the team. Tell us.
You are sharing the link.
The money you are taking to the tournament so that we will pray for the team to succeed. As for the minister's prayers, me, Coach Nimri, my prayer will counter his. He's not more spiritual than I am. Guess more.
Yes, that they be. Yeah, that they be.
What is this?
That they be.
You fit what team how? You fit what team? Can you walk away? I go no more. Or do ele many. Bolese.
He's the professor.
No one to for no more. Every team is using that side.
Yeah. The Egyptians, they invested heavily on that side.
On other side, did you see that?
Credits must be given to Rue Victoria.
I mean, you have to credit Rue Victoria.
Of course, you identify your opponent's weakness and exploit it.
It was the weakest link in the Black Stars.
He kept going at it. When we asked
at a point, it was 3-on-1. All the changes he made, he directed all
of them to that side. And our 3 coaches with George Barton sitting, and there is the, how do you call it? Is it the video or the here is the video analyst because he's looking at the thing. Okay. Right. So when he looks, that's what he saw. Look, we need 2 wingers against Mozambique. If we don't play with 2 proper wingers against Mozambique, we should forget about qualify. I have said they will not win the cup. So quarterfinals, then we are being checked, then we will come home. Yeah. But it wouldn't be bad to see them booted out of the tournament on Monday because of the dishonesty and the bad coaching going on in our team. Ethan, I'm done for now.
Hey, Black Stars.
What no team? Team or noni? Then in the team.
Guys, I mean, so okay, that's done. We've reviewed. So what do we do on Monday? Because now I think it's quite clear what the team needs.
Yeah.
Cape Verde are on 6. They
have topped the group.
They dealt with Mozambique properly.
the coach is going to rest players.
3 proper players. Bubista.
You know,
Super coach.
so now they are fine.
Yeah, super.
Egypt
coach.
will take on who?
Cape Verde.
Thank you, Verde, yeah.
Cape Verde has already topped the group.
And the
They
last
will rest some few. If I'm the coach, I'll rest players.
yes, the last matches in every group will be played simultaneously.
Simultaneously.
So that we
So
all
now-
know our smoothness level.
Yes. Ghana will
Those
take
who
on
head to the airport,
Mozambique.
yes, would.
Mozambique are on 1 point.
Yes.
Minus what?
-3.
-3.
The Black Stars have also got
One-
0 points.
They have
1
1
point.
point.
Sorry,
1
1
point
minus
minus one.
Yes.
So now the Black Stars,
They have to beat
if
Mozambique.
they win, and a big if they win, I think they can go through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
They finish as one of the best.
Because
Third
if
place.
Egypt wins, they'll be on 5.
Yeah.
Ghana will be on 4. And from what I'm seeing, you don't find a lot of the
Yeah,
other
but
teams.
we are even after we beat Mozambique, we are still not out of the woods yet because at the end of the day, you have to compare your
Other
point
groups.
tally
Yeah.
to the other
Yes, of course.
best
Third
place
best
teams.
in the
So
group.
And when you look at the third best place teams at this point in time, that you are likely to be competing against, that is Ghana. You are likely to be competing against Cote d'Ivoire.
Cote d'Ivoire have 3 points.
Already.
They have 3 points already.
Uh-huh.
And so let's say they draw against Equatorial Guinea. They have 4 points, just like Ghana.
Uh-huh.
Cote d'Ivoire have a better goal difference. Let's say as things stand because they
They have a goal
considered-
difference of +1.
Yes, they considered 1 against Nigeria and they scored twice against Equatorial Guinea. So at this point in time, they look a bit ahead of us. Then you look at the other
Okay,
groups too.
let me give you the numbers.
Tunisia is also in the
on
mix.
all so far the countries that are in 3rd place, Cote d'Ivoire on 3, Ghana on 1.
I think you should be adding the goal difference. It will help a little.
Okay, Cote d'Ivoire on 3, goal difference of +1. Ghana on 3, goal difference of -1. Cameroon on 3.
Ghana
Ghana
on
on
1.
one.
Ghana on 1. Sorry, Ghana. They're into your book.
How did that 3 points?
No, we're not going 3
He's
points.
patriotic, so the patriotism is spilling over. No, it's not you, it's the patriotism.
Ghana on 1, -1.
Yeah.
Cameroon 1 point, -2.
That's right.
Algeria, Angola 1 point, goal difference of 0. Tunisia 0 points, goal difference of -1. And then Zambia 1 point, no goals.
But those two teams
At
have
those-
big-
all that-
they
all
they have
only
two-
one game.
Yes, they have
so
2
now-
games.
Yes, so now
at the end of this round,
think
it will determine a whole lot in how we stack up to those teams. And so for Ghana, it's simple: beat Mozambique
Get
and
your 4
ensure
points.
that you score a lot of goals.
Yeah.
Because once they are looking across groups, head to head won't apply. Obviously,
course,
because you didn't play against each other. So the first thing that they'll check is goal difference.
We should score a lot of
So
goals
we should
against
score quite a lot of goals.
by the way we are
against
saying we
Mozambique.
should score this black that's in kind
And that's the thing because
Who will pass the ball? Who from midfield?
Yeah, who passed the ball?
because we're in this position in 2021. All we needed was a win
We
or
needed to
a
even draw against
against
Comoros.
Comoros, and we ended up losing that game
Ajegon.
3-2.
against Uruguay at the World Cup.
Avoid defeat.
We needed to avoid defeat, get a win or a draw, and you qualify. And we failed in that aspect too. Even the one that I will term as an anomaly, where it was a pressure situation that we needed a win or a draw to qualify. Technically, we didn't qualify because we won, but we just got a draw. And even with that, you can look at the goalkeeper of Nigeria, Francis Uzo's part, the part he played.
It's okay.
So that is an anomaly. Per what we've seen so far in terms of performing
situation.
under pressure or in pressure situations, Ghana has consistently failed. 9 out
deal
of
with
10.
pressure.
Okay, let's say 9 out of 10. Ghana has failed. And so moving into this Mozambique game, that's why even you don't sound too confident about our chances, because looking at how Mozambique played against Egypt, they can repeat that performance against Ghana and end a draw.
They were good today until they considered the first goal.
Yep.
If you watch the against Cape Verde, I watched the guy. I was at home.
I didn't.
When Bebe scored that, it was an unexpected goal.
Yeah.
Nobody,
Yeah.
I didn't
And
think
it was the second time he tried that. The
Exactly.
first one he did, he hit the
hit the
crossbar.
crossbar. Then he did it again and he scored.
And I also believe that Mozambique got a little bit too I wouldn't say complacent, but a little bit too loose with their passes.
Exactly.
Where they were trying to build up from the back, they kept on hanging on to the ball for a very long time, consistently with their players from midfield through the defense. It was happening the whole time, where players were running off the ball, but the ball wasn't released to them on time. And they'll hang on to the ball, and you have Cape Verde players just come in and nick the ball off them. And that's how come they considered that second goal. The third goal, it was a similar move that Cape Verde put up against Ghana.
Yes.
They worked it down the right side and attempted a shot. And this time around, instead of playing it a little bit closer to the goalkeeper and giving him the chance to parry it, this time around, he moved it a bit away from the goalkeeper and ended up scoring a very good goal. And so for me, yes, Ghana, we are not out of the woods yet. Beat Mozambique and ensure that you beat Mozambique by at least 2 goals, just to be sure that you'll be able to qualify or stand a very good chance of qualifying to the next round.
There is another, if we beat them, and we don't beat them with more goals, and we fall low in the ranking, number one of our most likely opponent, per the permutation, is Senegal.
Out. And then we are out.
Go and watch it.
We are out.
Oh, if we meet Senegal.
But of course, look, finishing as part of a third, as part of the
Best.
third best
Yeah.
place is
You are
always a
bound-
recipe
you are
for
bound-
disaster.
you are bound to meet
If
one
you
of the
use
big
that route,
teams.
you are bound to take on a top nation.
What Cape Verde may a group, Cape Verde in top. I mean, top you one more. I mean, tattoo, I mean, two. What tattoo, walk one po.
If you don't do your things
Nathan,
well,
two things I want to say today. I want to find out if you actually took a psychologist to the tournament.
no.
The last time was Dr. Patrick.
You remember when we lost against Cape Verde, he went to the dressing room
I said,
again.
And went to shut the boys up.
He blasted
The last person was Dr.
blasted the hell out of everybody.
So
that's the psychologist of our team.
I'm asking this because you look at this team, they've got a chain of lack of concentration. So all the way from
It's repetitive.
the World Cup to the Cape Verde game and to the game against Egypt. Clearly, this team cannot take lead and hold on to it.
This team is mentally fragile.
You get it?
Very, very
and then it has
Yeah,
worsened.
because we scored twice against Korea.
It has worsened.
They
Jordan
came back
says
in
it's
seconds.
inexperience. It's down to inexperience.
It has worsened. I
Let
say
me
it has
be fair.
worsened because as soon as Inaki
He has
gave the
been
back
losing
pass,
the balls for us to
as
concede.
soon as Inaki gave the back pass, you should see Inaki's demeanor.
Yes.
The ball was not even in the pole, but he
Put his
just
hands on his head.
he was
Yeah,
just
but,
crestfallen.
but it happens. all
No,
the-
I mean it
Players-
happens, but
players react
I'm
like
saying,
that. It
and the second
happens.
one too is the Bukhari thing. Introducing Bukhari was in the 76th minute, and then you take him off 80-something minutes, so he just lasted 60 minutes on the pitch.
Agbelemu.
These things do take a psychological toll on players.
But Chris Hughton said he did so because he thought from his position.
He says Bukhari wasn't the same
He
again
says
after.
Bukhari was not the same player after the mistake.
Okay,
So he
let's
felt-
give him the benefit of that. He was on the touchline. But from what we were watching on television, I think I would have kept him on. Because like those 2 runs, you see, credit the Egyptian
Defense,
defender.
yeah.
Because it was a 1v, and there was the one that Bukhari, I thought he had the beating of the guy. But the guy slided him, turned his body, and then retrieved the ball from a very difficult position. And I said, Bukhari will do something. Bukhari do something. There's somebody on the left who is not dribbling past the fullback. Yank him out. Put Joseph Pencil there. And then we change the dynamics of the game.
And it brings me to the point where I always say that, look, I've always said this, that you look at Houghton and you can tell that he actually knows what to do,
He just doesn't want to.
but he just won't do it. Because I don't understand why you go into a game against Egypt and you start with 2 unnatural wingers.
How?
It doesn't make any
You take
sense
that.
to me. When you've got proper wingers on your bench, and when you look at the way we play, we always want to, kick the ball to Jordan or kick the ball to Inaki Williams. There you have your Semenyo who is playing, and you have your Jordan who is playing. Jordan who is he's not going to provide you anything on that left side.
In terms of weight.
And then you leave him on 90 minutes. You've got Niama on the bench, very direct. Doesn't do a lot of the fancy things what other wingers, very direct, coming at you.
I was stunned. Nyama didn't get a shout
No minutes.
No, it's the balls.
that second because
is
you
the
see,
balls that
because
is
in
lacking.
even in that first game, and I think the technical team has done Nyama a lot of disservice because
Great disservice,
in
Nathan.
the first game against Cape Verde, you make a change, the momentum is swinging your way, you throw on Nyama, and for the next 20 minutes, you
decide not to play with him.
Yes, you don't manipulate the play so that you get him. Because what is Nyama?
Good.
One-on-one.
I'm a ball left with
Very
you.
good. And you see, I was telling you
tried
this.
the song your ball let me.
I was telling you this when we're coming here. If you're always being Mr. Nice, trying to please everybody in the team,
Diplomatic.
you will lose your job.
That's Chris Hughton you have defined.
We won't sack the entire 11, no.
That's Chris Hughton you just
It's
defined.
you also.
We won't sack the entire 11 that has lost to Mozambique on the last day, on Monday. It is you who will sack.
But his contract
Get
does
it?
not go beyond anything.
When Mourinho falls out to players and he comes to sit at a press conference and a question is being thrown at him that why have you fallen out with these players? And he's diplomatic about the answer. At the end of the day, who loses his job? It's Jose.
Yeah.
The player will stay on, and next coach will come and he will perform. So if Hughton really wants to do something with this team against Mozambique, the first thing he needs to get right on Monday
It's selection.
is selection. The starting
Selection.
Jordan is not supposed to be starting that game.
At all.
Okay. Let me ask Chris this, and then I take thoughts from Abeku and Yamin. I'll guys, so think of your starting 11 on Monday, Abeku and I'll ask you that. Chris, let me ask you a
But me, I
question.
said my starting 11 to you before.
You
On
relax.
Akon
I'm
Day.
coming. You are asking.
You know where I stand.
Let me ask you, Chris, just in a few minutes. Does Jordan have anything to offer this team?
I think as a number 9, yes.
So
But
that's
as a
where he
winger.
should be playing.
But his best
As a
ever
9.
tournament for the Black Stars was when he played as a number 9.
2017.
Yeah.
You were there.
I was there.
You were there.
And I remember.
And we saw how very lethal he was at the time.
I remember I wrote
Yes.
saying that he leaves that tournament with this.
Exactly.
reputation.
I don't know what those around didn't advise him to stick to that role. Because this is the team, this Black Stars team is yearning for a proper goal scorer. The baby jet at the time was exiting. It was clear that was Asamoah's last tournament. And you were coming in. You had started alongside your brother as the lead striker.
He had started
We scored. Yes. With
John
that,
was in that team.
we scored. I think we played Benin or when we played 2-2. Fantastic goals
And then-
by Jordan.
It was Benin.
It was in Egypt.
John. Then you don't know. So look, me, I'm saying, if he cannot play through the line, lead the line, touching, because the fundamental attributes of a winger, pace, proper crossing into the box, seeking to give good assist regularly, and then diagonally moving into the box when the ball is on the opposite side to act as a backup striker. All these attributes,
So, for instance, you look at Namibia. Hoto got the goal. Look at how he ran diagonally to
Even
miss
today,
that cross.
Sadio Mane, the Senegalese third goal. Look at what Sadio Mane went diagonally into the box.
To meet that cross from the opposite side. Do you see Jordan doing that?
He doesn't do all those things.
I was telling somebody that look.
No, coach is
If you look at that goal they scored, I'm not looking at the goal scorer. I'm looking at the one who crossed the ball.
Exactly.
The way he just took on the defender and hits that cross. That's proper winger.
Another perfect example was the Congo-Zambia game. You saw the Congolese goal, the one they used to equalize.
Yeah, Wissa. Yohan Wissa.
Yes, when the striker was in an offside position, he recycled the move, and the midfielder,
He picked out the
60
crossbar.
yards. You saw that
Yes,
pass. Yeah,
the
God
crossbar.
bless you. He
The
picked
crossbar
out the
pass.
60-yard pass. The guy just chested it. Iguiza, who was playing on the left,
Yeah, Wissa.
saw the move. So diagonal, I don't know, pardon the tie with me. I will go no more. We don't see these things. We can see a copy.
Come and see, oh.
Look, I had a friend in school, Elibena Dabo, rough. Those days in UCC, when you go to UCC, he was doing agric. So they were forced to do chemistry,
Yeah.
level 100.
Yeah.
The guy was suffering. So when we are going to write the chemistry end of term, you see, the UCC, our lecture hall.
It's like
is-
an amphitheater. It
That's
rises.
right. So, Padiatole Kwekuti, that's his nickname, Kwekuti.
LT 2021.
So he will sit behind me, and I will sit directly
Down, yeah,
down.
because it's
Around me, I have surrounded myself with only agric boys. I'm a fairly paper. So when I'm writing, I push my paper.
Solid move.
Kwekuti.
Yeah,
He
dabba.
even dabs ahead of me. He was waiting for me. Before I as if he knew what I was going to write. Look, when I write, he writes. When I write, he writes. When I finish, Kweku, let's go and submit. I remember in the final, he was asking me, "Now, Chris, you that you are dabbing, you are asking me." So just copy.
Because others is the template.
It's a template. Just copy.
the template.
Free of charge. Nobody's charging you for that. You can copy. Nathan, against Mozambique. At least, in Mgwasia de Mfatayesa. Yembonko do kwatabi na yembrefi. Because standard Morocco ni Senegal the standard that is being showcased here. This team is not up there.
This morning I said it on the City breakfast show. This AFCON is a high quality AFCON.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, I had my worry that when we go 24 teams, the tournament will be diluted.
The quality. Yeah.
But rather, the quality has been immense.
Bernard, let me take your starting 11 on Monday. If you had the chance to say something to Chris Hughton on Monday, what would be that starting 11?
I feel he has no control, on the team. I watch a lot of things outside what is happening on the pitch of play. I look at the mannerisms on the bench, and I realize that there's no organization. At a point in time, the day you can just get up and be doing
All the players, coaching.
You get it. It is not the way to go. You look at Pep Guardiola and he has control and power on his bench. If you are picking coaches to set examples, you can look at Jose Mourinho and say, look,
He's the Cristiano Ronaldo of the team. Do you not see what Portugal did at Euros? Ronaldo was coaching the team.
That one, they were playing Fana.
of course,
Capisi.
he should let the players stay disciplined. Look, we are a team that I'm saying that the last time we had the psychologist, just like, Gabi was raising that point, was Dr. Patrick Ofori.
Yeah.
And after Patrick Ofori, we've not heard of any other psychologist close to the Black Stars. So there should be organization first for him. He should let the players stay very disciplined. And he should read games.
Yeah.
George Boateng is the one doing that. And he's proving that he's not.
What is he reading? What is he
He
reading?
has the thing.
I thought
He has
yesterday
the thing.
you made that point. And
Yes. But what is he reading?
And I thought yesterday, really, it just came down to one coach seeing a problem
goodness.
and taking advantage of it, and another coach just
Not
looking
seeing the
on.
problem and being expected. He's sitting in the stands and watching the game with us like he's a fan. He went to a tournament as a fan. It is. Look, the coach observed that prior to facing Ghana, the weaker link will be the oldest player, who when he decides to run, on the flanks, getting back to defend will be a problem. So I put a young chap on him who will keep him busy.
Mamouche did not let Dennis Odo enjoy.
And what we'll do is that make sure you run faster than him. We'll loop the balls into space for you. And that's our advantage. And they kept on doing that. And these coaches, our coaches, kept sitting on the bench and observing what was happening. We are not saying Odo is not good. And one thing the coach must learn is giving direct instructions to players on field. What you must do. It is roles and responsibilities in football, and particularly on the pitch. What was Odo's role? When we went into the game and he was delivering the role which you've told him to, and the Egyptians have capitalized and realized something they can do to outwit that role which you've given him, you need to redefine his role for him. Limit his runs. And I learned that from Andre Pello. When Tornado Apia was asking why he's still active at that age in football. And he was trying to tell me, look, football and on the pitch, it is boxers.
It's a common sense. You just demarcate.
Demarcation,
Idiots don't play
goodness
football.
me, no.
Postcode says idiots don't play football. I'm quoting postcodes. If you are an idiot, you can't play football. So as you grow, you restrict your movement. You run less, you think more.
The great Johan Cruyff said, all of football is played in your head.
That's it.
Your legs only carry you around.
Absolutely.
That's the great Johan Cruyff.
And in that split second, you should be able to think faster and know what the player you are facing. Look, when they start a football game, every wise player, and again I repeat, every wise player would read the opposition player is meeting in about 5 minutes.
Minimum, as a maximum, by the first 10 minutes.
You should know.
You should
your
know
standards.
You should know your
Maximum 10
direct
minutes, you should
opponent.
know their direct opponent. And with all due respect, Dennis Odoi should have known what was happening. And even with the instructions of the coach, should have limited his runs to try and block that area and the ball that was coming into that zone. Because twice the Egyptians tried. There's a scripture that says
once I've heard, twice something.
Yeah,
somewhere I know that.
something like that.
Yeah. I know if my pastor hears me fumbling over the scripture, he won't be too hard.
Bible chapter say verse safer. Even no pastor knows everything in the Bible.
You get it? And they were utilizing that area. And the coaches were just sitting. So they need to give direct instructions, stay disciplined. Tell the players, listen,
It's a must-win game.
Absolutely.
We don't need to win more than, if we win more than 2, hooray, but we need to win. So this team had shown in 2 games, we've considered how many goals? We've considered 4 goals.
Yeah.
So we are shipping in goals.
But to be honest, the Black Stars in the last 2 years have had a horrible concession rate.
Exactly.
Because we are giving goals away.
Minimum of 2. Minimum of 2.
3 against Portugal,
and
2 against Korea, 2 against Uruguay,
4 against USA,
4 against
2 against Mexico,
3 against Comoros.
So what's the problem? What are the coaches?
The most worrying bit is we are conceding in bunches. Like when it happens, 2-3 minutes later, we concede another.
Yeah.
Then again,
we consider
actually 9 months we have coach for.
As for this one, that he has to go. Look, as for this coach Fufro there, I support.
He has to go. Okay.
But Nathan, just before you remember when we're going to the World Cup, I said something. I don't know whether it was, I was discussing with Edwin. And Edwin said, Coach, today I remembered something that you said. You see, when we appointed Coach Otoado,
Yes.
I sat here and I said that was a wrong appointment. Why? We were not going to win the World Cup.
Yes.
So our appointment, we should have had this AFCON in mind.
Absolutely.
You remember, I kept saying that I felt the World Cup had come too early.
So let's rather focus on getting the man.
Yes, so that we should have used the World
our
Cup
team to come
to
and
fine tune the
AFCON.
identity of the team.
So progressionally, we failed to plan. And we are still not planning. Look, it is why you blame Ketokraku. See, if you come into the helms of affairs at our football and its administration, you should not look at, I want to go and win cup to make a name. It is a wrong move from the onset if you put it on top of your mind. We should look at, leave a legacy. We mention great football administrators now because they did something. Look at our chain from 2005 coming. We did something before we got to the World Cup proper. So when we got to the World Cup for the second time, we were a pleasing country for others to watch.
Today, every juvenile tournament, Senegal is present and they are winning it. We are rather absent.
There's a brilliant
every
piece.
juvenile
There's a
tournament.
brilliant piece the BBC wrote on how Senegal have developed their football, and there's a part that stands out to me. The Senegalese FA, they were telling in that interview, they were telling the BBC that they've come to understand something. That if you want to win a competition, the first step is being there.
Exactly.
And being there the first time doesn't mean you
are
win.
going to
No,
win.
so you go. You have
to plan.
Go,
You grow on
and
it.
go.
You have to plan.
And go until one day when all the planning comes together. And I give it Senegal before they won. Remember they lost to Algeria.
Yeah.
Yes, to Algeria.
Yeah.
Even the tournament before, now they had been booted out, I think the quarterfinals or
Quarterfinals.
so. Then
They made the final.
Ali Sisi has been in the job for 10 years.
Yes. Then they won.
Then they won it.
Look, we've been to finals,
Oh, we have.
but we've not had plans, progression wise, to go to finals and win. It shows in the final. Attitudinally, it shows again. And that attitudinal problem we've not solved in the Black Stars. So I'm saying that Chris should let these guys, if he wants to continue as the Black Stars, well, coach does not. But look,
Moyaya.
look. Then we need to plan. Who are we getting to
Yes.
to have?
So we need to be having that conversation. We should have been having it months
Yesterday,
ago.
you saw Javier Rene.
Yeah, heavy is there.
He was watching our game.
Yeah, he's the guy I feel he should have been. along.
he's enjoying- he's enjoying
he's so
money.
much in love with this country that. And I'm not sure, maybe after coaching the
French
French
women's
women's team for the Women's World Cup, then we can go and look, if we could give $100,000 to a management member,
We can go. We can
13 billion, we should be able to pay Heavy Rena
Appoint Heavy Rena.
150
If you
If you ask me, The name I'm about to mention is not popular, but a manager like Tom St. Feet.
The one who coached.
Gambia.
Yeah, I said it here last week.
Tom St.
The
Feet.
Gambian coach.
Yeah.
His team is
His
playing.
team, they are playing now.
Yeah.
They may not do anything, but where Tom St. Feet has coached,
You can clearly
they don't
see.
have the wasting tendencies like we do.
Yeah.
He's coached in Togo
Yes,
and is it Burkina Faso?
he's made impact everywhere.
And
he's
he took Gambia to the last. This AFCON may not work because they have their own issues. But when I look at Tom St. Feet, this is a manager who understands how to build teams and get things to. Anyway, that's just
On the starting 11, we should have our back for on the right side. We should make a change. I feel Ali Diseidu is not good.
So Ali Diseidu.
So Ali Diseidu, keep the three. Bring
So Ali Diseidu is the
Ali
only
Diseidu
change you
forward,
make in the back.
absolutely.
Okay.
Keep the goalkeeper. He seemed to now. He is getting himself into the tournament. I saw one ball from area ball, and then his anticipation was wild, and he flicked it out.
Okay,
I feel
finish
it
and
was
then,
solid.
I'll talk.
In the midfield, I feel it should be, as I indicated earlier, giving direct roles and responsibilities. We should have one midfielder who's thinking of giving supplying. He should be a supplying midfielder.
If Majid Ashimero is unfit, what do we do?
That's a bigger
Because
problem.
he has a
It's
calf
about
injury.
those, it's about those we have there. What can you do?
But
Elisha Wusu.
But you've taken Rico
Abu-
Lamte. He's not even
Look.
making the match day
Oh,
squad.
I am
he was
stating
always not going to
emphatically
play. He was always not going to play.
that what Baba Idrisu is playing, the Kotoko player,
Richmond Lamptey.
Yeah.
I said here that it wasn't time for him to be included in the team because of one or two things. But if this is what Baba is going to do,
Then play Richmond.
no more. Akalamtia me.
Yeah.
Great.
Wale.
So Salis and Lamte. Lamte should be told to progress the ball. Look for passes. The moment the ball is passed to you, don't return the ball backwards. Go forward. Now find out the three in front of him. I love the 4-2-3-1. It's our strength. Let's look. The 4-2-3-1 formation.
always been our powerful.
It is our strength. Not the old 4-4-2.
In Angola, it was Anthony Annan and Ajuma Bedu.
Absolutely.
And could just somewhere in the whole pocket, allowed to free. And then Andre, the baby jet, and then Opoko Ajimai.
The number 10 role should be played by Kudus Mohammed. Allow him freedom to move to whatever area he likes.
I slightly disagree with allow him room because I feel it kind of distorts the
Exactly.
structure.
He
I
should
will
play.
say-
Yesterday, he
I would
scored
say-
two brilliant goals.
I'll say kudos.
But there were
It was from the position he lost.
Yes, I'm saying
there was
go
some
West Ham.
moments where I think a one-time pass could have.
I will tell Kudus, only play in one direction. Play towards the goal. Because this business of coming deep and take the ball, touch,
No deep.
just let him play towards.
No deep. So if you are playing that number 10 role, limit your runs. Know where you drop and know where you move towards in it. You should not come that deep. You get it. And then on the flanks, I feel we should put Pencil back in the game and Osman Bukhari.
No,
You know why?
I think let's go with Nyama and Pencil for a start.
Nyama, will you deploy them on their natural sides or you invert?
I'll invert.
So Nyama on the left,
Nyama
on the right, cutting onto
Joseph
his
Pencil
left.
on the left.
Joseph Pencil on
and
the
then after, so we can do that in quarters. Let's say first 20 minutes or 15, 20, then they swap. Then we do the. Then what you don't want to do, you don't want to trouble carry in there from the start.
Okay.
Because of what happened to him and the fact that he was yanked out like that. You don't want to throw it. If you throw it,
He might
press.
absolutely. I get it.
So start with the two natural wingers.
I get it.
And then work on Osman Psyche.
then
And
you
when the
bring
time
him
is coming, let's go. Go rectify.
Work on
Who will you go with?
and
After
just
Semenyo, you go with
If you bring
Semenyo.
Keto,
No. I'll not go with Semenyo. I'll go with Inaki. I love his move. I love strikers who move into space and try and draw people around him and try and steal rounds from people and beat offside.
But his teammates,
You see,
Nathan, you know
Semenyo is doing well.
Because-
But it's like he's fancying the physical battle.
Too much.
Too much. No one try ball, kind.
So what it means is that we've got just 2 DMs heading into the final game because Salis also picked up.
Salis picked up.
I'm not sure he'll be.
We've got Elisha Owusu and Baba
Salis
Idrisu.
came to the competition with a slight
Yeah.
knee problem.
Yeah.
I sat here. Teacher players or injury prone.
All right. Anyway, Yamint, you're starting 11.
Oh, starting 11. I'll just not make too many changes. Yes, Iñaki Williams to lead the attack. I will play Ernest Nyama and Joseph Paintel as orthodox wingers.
So on their natural side,
on their natural
Myanmar
side, yes,
on the left,
just deliver as many
right.
crosses as possible for Iñaki Williams to attack, because it's clear that trying to work through the lines, we aren't getting any success doing that. So we need to be a bit more direct and work through the wings, because I look at the Mozambicans. I don't see them as a team that's coordinated very well centrally. They'd love to play the guy who's always in the number 8 jersey, Dove, in that central defensive part of their unit.
Solid.
I don't think he's solid enough, and so you will always want to have Iñaki Williams run at him, and I see him more as a guy who is a defensive midfielder who has been slotted into that central defensive role or in that position, just to help them build from the back. But he's not. He doesn't look too comfortable. So I really want Iñaki Williams stationed on him or in that particular part of the pitch consistently, and not have him roam about. If there are orthodox wingers, I think it keeps Iñaki's runs a bit in check. But because you have consistently in inverted wingers, he seems to always be moving all over the place, and that doesn't give us a presence in the penalty box of the opposing team.
Okay.
In midfield, let's say Salis isn't fit, let's say Majid Ashmeru isn't fit, then it'll have to be Baba Idrisu and Richmond Lamptey. They would have to put a lot of trust in Richmond Lamptey, which unfortunately, it puts him in a very difficult position, because
Elisha
because this is
Elisha has really played like how many games?
One,
two.
yeah,
I think we
so,
should give him an opportunity.
so Baba Idrisu and Richmond Lamptey for me.
I think I'll do Elisha and then Lamptey.
Yeah.
But Baba Idris, no.
Baba Idrisu's problem, and it's a problem. The fact that he can't receive with his back turned to play, it is a big problem.
But I will go with Baba, because he has tasted this tournament for an extensive period more than Elisha Owusu. So I'll pair with Richmond Lamptey. Then at the back, yes, I'll keep the central defensive pair, Jiku and Salisu. Salisu has underperformed this tournament, but he's okay at this point in time. I think he's our best of options. He's better than the options that we have. Then you look at
Poku and Amate, not.
Then you look at the right side. Yes, I'll go with Ali Seidu. This is a game pretty much built for him, because I don't see his disciplinary issues being a problem because of the number of yellow cards he tends to get. This is a game that is perfectly built for him, unlike the game against, let's say, an Egypt, where you have the likes of Mamouche and Mohamed Salah running at him consistently.
The only issue I have with Ali Seidu is his inability to
Floating balls into the area.
that is one, but
Going forward, he's
not good. He's not adventurous. So you want him to go.
So the best thing to do is to play with the natural wingers.
Absolutely.
Where just give it to them.
them all.
Because
Yeah.
Joseph Pense 1v1 will fancy himself.
And on top of that,
Normal will fancy himself.
because he loves to be a little bit conservative, you always have Gideon Mensah, who is a willing attacking outlet from the back. And so if he moves or he advances upfield, then you can have your 3 men at the back. And now I'm always comfortable with 3 defenders at the back, knowing very well that you have a pacey winger who can easily recover and ensure that side of the field is covered. And so for me, that will be my starting unit.
It all comes down to that on Monday. The Black Stars will have to find something. Let's go to some of the messages. Lipu Mama is listening to us. She says, greetings from the land
sweetheart.
of the 2026 World Cup. Okay, it says Salah should come home and win 3 trophies for us this season. Black Stars will qualify per my calculations, inshallah. This one says, this is the roadmap. Ghana shall progress. Cape Verde will beat Mozambique and draw with Egypt to earn 7 points. Ghana will beat Mozambique to earn 4 points. And he says the table will be Cape Verde 7, Ghana 4, Egypt 3, Mozambique 1. Hey! Calculations and tratis and maths and antics. Mathematics. This one says, Nitojo from Temanita, Ghana and math. Black Stars. This one says, United fans shouldn't worry about who will be imposed for their weekend game because Onana is flying to United in a private jet. This one says, my best game so far was between Zambia and DR Congo. The determination of the players It's just up there. After the match, I almost cried as a Ghanaian. This one says, I want to find out, did Coach Chris play Iñaki out of position? It seems he played as a defender, because I don't get it. All right. They always pass the ball. That's Kwame Bill Gates.
Yeah, they always pass the ball backwards.
Pass the ball backwards.
I was watching a game. I was watching a game again, and I was counting the number of times we went sideways and backwards, and it was horrible.
I see.
Horrible. All our forward passing most often came from centre backs, and then it had to do with Mo Salisu passing the ball forward.
Okay, let me read a few more messages, and then we will call it an evening. Kweku from Nungwa says, in life, poor planning leads to bad results. And he quotes Galatians 3:3. This one says, Nathan, truth be told, that boys played well to instructions. I believe the 2 goals were deserving. But what at all was Jordan doing on the field for 90 minutes? While Nyama also sat on the bench for 90 minutes. Jordan was tired. He held onto the ball too much. Okay. This one says, I'm in a state of mourning for Ghana football. Not only the performance of the Black Stars. If you ask me, I'll say without an apology that football in Ghana is in coma. All right. Well, we're wrapping it up, but there's Premier League action tomorrow.
Yes, and on Sunday too.
And on Sunday, there's AFCON action as well. Yeah,
tomorrow. So we'll bring you the game between Arsenal and Crystal Palace. The game kicks off at 12:30.
Yes.
And the pre-game analysis, pre-game build-up starts at 12 noon. And after that, we'll have the AFCON games also come through. We'll have the Burkina Faso game. Then later in the day, we'll have Mali and Tunisia. Also,
that sounds like an interesting one.
Tunisia
need to. They'll have to chase the game.
Yes, at 8 p.m. Then on Sunday, you have the likes of Liverpool taking on Bournemouth. And we'll also have the AFCON games also coming through.
All right, so very interesting weekend of football from England and from the African continent. But that's how we wrap up on Sports Panorama Show, proudly brought to us by Bell Puka and Game Park Game. My name is Nathan Kwai, starting for Benjamin. So one of these days, we should call him on the show. He's in Abidjan enjoying himself. Coach Christopher Nimli was here. Bernard Abekuachu was here. Yao Ejay Minta and Gabi Ofe. Do keep your dials locked on Citi 97.3 FM. And like you heard, there's lots of football this weekend. So keep your dials here and enjoy the football. Enjoy your weekend. We'll catch you next week.